Aloha, friends and shamans, and welcome to this beautiful cyberspace of EarthStar Spiritual Center here at our EarthStar Sundays at 11:11. And today is March 29th, 2026. My goodness, the year just keeps moving on, right? So here we are in the midst of the Easter season from our Christian perspective. So happy Palm Sunday. Remember, this is the day that Jesus rode the donkey into Jerusalem, right? And they laid down the palm trees for his entrance, signifying his royalty as the king, right? So thank you for being here and sharing your wonderful time and energy and aloha. And our exciting topic today is going to speak about Reiki ideals and how we can use these ideals in a dimensional awareness sense, because we certainly, this is not restricted to just those of us who do Reiki energy work or Reiki philosophy. This also applies to just living life in general. Okay. All right, well, let's just get right to our program then. And remember, this is a live chat. So yeah, let us know you're here, and certainly can ask questions and be very active during the session. Okay. So it is March 29th, 26th, Reiki Ideals and Dimensional Awareness, Sundays at 11:11. And remember, our overall focus, our umbrella or our foundation is Cosmic Shaman and Aloha Consciousness. And remember, Aloha, in my sense, my definition, Aloha just simply means love. Okay, and we are EarthStar Spiritual Center. So we've been doing this since 2002. We are a multi-faith church for living Aloha. And you see to the left there, you see those are our core ideals or principles or essences. And it spells out Aloha. And that's all loving God, love, oneness, heart path, and as above, so below. So planetary awareness to galactic consciousness. So reminding us to be in this wonderful dimensional awareness and conscious level. Because remember, if anything else, we're at least mind, body, and spirit. So there we have three levels of dimension in which we create our reality. So just think about all the other levels that you're in. Remember, every cell in your body, anywhere from 10 to 30 trillion cells in your body, and anywhere you could have as much as 10 billion miles of DNA. Because remember, there's 6 feet of DNA within every cell. So just think, these are all geared for planetary awareness and galactic consciousness, and attuning itself to the many, many dimensions of life. So make sure you're aware that you are definitely a multi-dimensional being. And this is Sundays at 11:11. So some of the topics you see in the clouds, these are the areas that we'll be covering on our Sundays. And also these are things that we can do in private sessions with you. So just let us know if we can help you with any of that. Okay. And also, if you like reading books, these are the books we've written. So we have 7 books now, and all of them have some sort of spiritual aspect to them, and they're available in the show notes. I've got the links. They're on Amazon. And also, if you are a budding author and you want to try to get your work published, we can help you with that, with our help you to get it published on Amazon. Okay? And all that will be in the show notes. You can contact us, and we can make that happen. And also want to make you aware of one of the organizations we belong to, and that's Connecting Consciousness with Simon Parks and his wife, Becky. They currently live in the UK. So Simon is one of the organizations that will help manage the upcoming humanitarian projects. In other words, the funding required for that. There'll be many other folks helping with that also, but Simon is the one that we've connected with. Connecting Consciousness has over 100,000 members. It's free to join, always has been free, and will continue to be. And also, we're in over 100 countries. So it's definitely a large organization, and he supplies videos every now and then. And the link for his organization is in the show notes. So as you think about humanitarian projects, how are you currently serving humanity? Are you serving others? Or how will you serve? So in other words, are you using your earth superpowers? What are you good at doing? What do you like about yourself? What are things that are easy for you to do? And remember the question, what were your childhood dreams? And also, if you had all the money and time in the world, what would you do and who would you be? We had a Sunday at 11:11 about this topic. So just search the videos in March. Yeah. All right, so today then, Reiki ideals and dimensional awareness. So our objectives then will be to define Reiki and to examine 5 Reiki ideals with a dimensional perspective. Because remember, we are multidimensional, so we want to evaluate everything from a dimensional standpoint, because that's who we are. It'd be right. I mean, imagine going into a Baskin Robbins ice cream, all those 31, 32 flavors, and all you ever get is vanilla the whole time. You never try anything else. Okay? So try different things. So be aware that you are dimensional and you are more than you've been told you are. Okay? So understand that. All right. So objective number 1 then, how to define Reiki. Now, Reiki, you see REI-KI, so it translates to universal energy. So now you see the word ki at the end of Reiki. Now, if you've done a Korean philosophy or martial arts, it's also pronounced ki. If you've done any Chinese philosophy or martial arts or energy work, it's chi, right? So if you've done yoga, then it's probably called prana. If you do Hawaiian spiritual work or healing, it's called mana. And so just think of Reiki as, or ki as, the life force. So universal energy, universal life force. Now, Reiki was brought back in the modern times. I say modern times, it was the late 1800s and early 1900s by Makao He rediscovered this healing method. He lived with us on Earth from 1865 to 1926. So he had a healing situation, and so he went on a vision quest, and he received all the information about Reiki, attunements, symbols, how to use Reiki with all of our senses of being able to see, hear, feel, touch, smell, taste, using all of our senses to help share this wonderful Reiki energy. So now most folks that we use Reiki, we are accustomed to the hands-on healing. So this comes by way of the Japanese perspective. Keep in mind that Makao Usui was a Buddhist, Tendai Buddhism. Okay? Tendai Buddhism is a branch of the Mahayana Buddhism or the Tibetan Buddhism. So one of the big reasons, or one of the main concepts of Tendai Buddhism, is you have always been enlightened. So it's not like you have to do anything to be enlightened. You just simply have to be aware of it, accept it, own it, and just live it. Okay? So Makao Usui, thank you for him for bringing this forward and sharing it. And of course, he passed it on to a doctor in Japan, Dr. Hayashi. And then, of course, it was passed on to Mrs. Takada, who lived in Hawaii. So she brought it to the United States. So isn't that wonderful? Reiki brought to the United States by the feminine energy. How great that is. So universal energy, that's what Reiki is. Okay? Now, let's get into the Reiki ideals. Okay, so let's go for a common ground for ideals. Remember, the word idea means a thought. So something you formulated in your mind, and that's where it stays. When we talk about an ideal, we're speaking about grounding or bringing that idea out of the mind and bringing it onto the earth plane. So we're grounding or centering that idea. You've heard the saying, I imagine, putting feet on our prayers, right? We can pray all day long, but we want to make sure we put some action into those prayers. So same thing between idea and ideal. We want to ground that idea we have in our mind, and we want to make it physical. So that means some sort of physical action to ground or center that idea into the earth plane. Okay? So that's our definition of Reiki ideals. All right, we have 5 of them. So let's go over those. So just for today, I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Just for today, I will show appreciation. Just for today, I will work on my spiritual growth. And just for today, I will be kind to others. All right, so let's do an overview of that. So when we see the phrase just for today, what does that mean? If you remember last week, if you watched that show, I want to go back and review that. We talked about the 7 Huna principles. And the Huna principle of the power of now. Right now is the power of now. Okay? So now is the moment of power. So make sure we're in present tense. We're not in the past. We're not in the future. We're here now. We're conscious of who we are, what we're doing, We're conscious of the love and the aloha that flows through every 10 trillion cells within our body. So we're very present because this is where our power is. Now is the moment of power. So be present and be conscious as we go through these 5 perspectives. And remember, being in the now is what we want to do anyway. As spiritual beings, as shamanic beings, we want to make sure we stay in the now. That way we find that peace within our life. All right, now let's look at these just by themselves. Okay? So just for today, again, being in the present moment, I will let go of anger. So to let go of anger, well, let's look at this from dimensional perspective. Why is it that we have this anger within ourselves? What has caused this anger to take up space within our not only our psyche, but also our physical body, inundating ourselves and living within our mind, body, and spirit in some form or fashion? So why are we allowing this to happen? What does the anger bring up? Now, when we get angry, is this something like a minor irritation? Or is it taken to the other end of the spectrum? I mean, it's a full blown. I mean, we've blown a gasket, blood pressure's up, we're red in the face, we're moving, stomping our feet, or moving our body violently. And heaven forbid if we take it to the ultimate sense of actually harming someone, something, or someplace being like vandalism. Right? So I want to make sure that we understand the anger that is within us. And if you remember, or you've watched the show, or you can go back and review the show from this month, one of the Sundays we talked about reflections, and we've often talked about that in all of our classes. So what is the reflection of anger that's within us? Something within us is giving this lesson, this challenge to learn. So when we think about what makes us angry, why is that? It's going to be some sort of lesson in reference to self-empowerment, self-love, or just love in the very foundational sense. So make sure we address this on a dimensional level. Try to find out, why are we angry? Why did we react this way? You know, what caused this reaction? Did it brought up some sort of shadow work or inner work of something that happened in the past, and it's just been festering all these years? And remember, most of these reflection ideas or ideals, if you allow them to influence your physical life, they happen at a very early age. And remember, we've spoken about grass ropes and the idea of something that happened as a youth, and yet we still continue to believe that idea, and we allow it to manifest as an ideal as an adult. So make sure we realize that what we learned as a child may not apply to who we are today as a living adult, especially being a spiritual track shaman. Okay? So let go of anger. So realize the dimensional aspects of what anger is. Remember, why did this happen? And of course, you created it. We all create our reality. So why do we react in this specific way? So root that out. Find out what the shadow memory is there and make use of that so we truly can let go of that and replace it with many, many other positive emotions. So very first one, I will let go of anger. Okay, so number 2, just for today, again, so being in present time, present mind, at one mind, being in the wholeness, because remember, now is the moment of power. So this is when we can decide, we can make these wonderful life-changing decisions. Okay? I will let go of worry. Yes, let go of worry. Well, let's look at worry from a dimensional sense. Worry is really fear. So fear and worry, or giving energy to something that hasn't even happened yet. Okay? We're fearful of something that may happen, right? I'm afraid my car won't start. I'm afraid I'm going to be fired. I'm worried that someone doesn't love me as much as I love them. I'm worried I'm going to be late for work. I'm worried my children don't call or visit me. I'm worried that this chocolate cake is going to make me gain 10 pounds, right? So worry and fear, they go hand in hand. It's the same word, same energy, just different letters. Okay? So worry and fear, things that haven't even happened, and we're giving energy to these things. And remember, since we create everything in our lives with all our situations, challenges, and celebrations, if we worry or if we think about this too much, we're actually going to create and manifest this worry, this fear that we're worried or fearful about. So make sure we understand to change that way that you're thinking, this idea you have in your mind about worry, and try to replace that with some other sense of positive accomplishment, okay? Positive celebration. Remember the divinity within you, that you're whole and you're one with everyone, everything, everywhere. So let go of that worry, let go of that fear, and be what you want to be. Instead of thinking about the things that you don't want in your life, think about the things you do want in your life, a positive affirmation of that. So let go of worry and fear. Okay? So that's number 2 from the dimensional sense. Okay, so just for today, I will show appreciation. So again, just for today, right now, being in present time, now is the moment of power. Okay? So I will show appreciation. So again, by using the word show, we're actually showing, we're actually putting feet to this prayer, putting feet to these ideals, this idea, and make it ideal, because this will require some sort of physical action. Okay. And let me go back and remind yourself too that, these Reiki ideals, they didn't just come from Mikao Usui. This was part of the Meiji Emperor, the time of Japan's time during the late 1800s, early 1900s, when Japan was moving out of the feudal state. Remember, you may have seen the miniseries Shogun. So they were removing themselves from these shogunates and the powerful shoguns and the samurai at the time of that. And if you remember seeing the movie The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise back, that's probably 20 years ago, that was the Meiji Emperor signified in that story, the actor playing that. So it was a time for the modernization of Japan and moving them towards more of a Western approach. And so these 5 ideals was also for the culture of Japan at that time. Okay. All right, now getting back to just for today, I'll show appreciation. And you often, for this one, you've often heard the word, the attitude of gratitude. So how wonderful, in our Cherokee studies, we learned a wonderful thing about being thankful. So how wonderful to go around every moment of your day being thankful for all the people, places, and things in your life. All being thankful and appreciative of all the lessons, even the challenges, because remember, the challenges, the mistakes, those are very vital benchmarks in our life. They help us to grow, help us to evolve when we learn from those mistakes, and we create this wonderful benchmark of ascension and evolution, almost like a springboard into new growth. So make sure we have an attitude of gratitude. We appreciate every single thing in our life. And again, even the so-called negative things, because this is what helps us to grow. Okay? So appreciation, attitude of gratitude, and just try that throughout your day. Appreciate everyone in your life. Appreciate every phone call, every gift, every text, every hug, every kiss. Appreciate your work. Appreciate your employer for providing this job for you, this employment, help you to pay your bills, to help you to fulfill your destiny. Appreciate that maybe this is not the job that is your destiny at this time, but it is building toward your destiny, because it's helping you to create and to grow as a new person so that your destiny will soon be fulfilled and realized. So appreciate everyone, anyone, everything, and everywhere, every single place you are, every single thing in your life. Make sure we have an attitude of gratitude. So this would be a dimensional perspective of to show appreciation. All right. So again, just for today, I will work on my spiritual growth. So when we think about our spiritual growth, remember we're in the now. So now is the moment of power. Again, I will work. Again, adding physical action, physical work to make this idea of the Reiki ideals and turning it into a grounded, manifested earth principle that we can actually work with and make actionable. So what is spiritual growth? Well, what is spiritual? So that's something you'll have to decide. Is it mind, body, and spirit, only spiritual things? Or are you just sitting around just praying and meditating? You smell like incense and patchouli and sage. Is that what your idea is of spiritual growth? Because it certainly is. But also when we remind ourselves that we are in wholeness, we're in oneness of mind, because everybody is just really one mind, not only on this earth, but also in our universe and multiverse, because we're of God. Remember, God created everyone, everything, everywhere, or God is in everyone, everything, everywhere. Or if you're of the higher dimensional thinking and understanding, you know that God is everyone, everything, everywhere. So that means you're God and God is us. Okay? So we are God and God is us. So when we understand spiritual, so does that mean that everything we do is spiritual? Because everything we do helps us to grow, helps us to evolve. And this is what we do for all of eternity. And we do this by being loved, by learning about love, by being aloha in every moment. So when we think about spiritual, we're thinking about love. So how is it we want to be loving? How is it we want to evolve ourselves into a loving being 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? So how do we do that? We realize and we understand that we are on this wonderful consciousness level of planetary awareness to galactic consciousness, understanding our place in our galaxy as being a galactic citizen. So everything we do is spiritual because it's about love. So love is what we want to grow. Okay? And we grow this by every action that we do. With every thought, every word, and every action, we move up one rung on the ladder, or we expand one rung out, okay, on this beautiful horizon of aloha, because we want to be the aloha in every moment, wherever we are. Okay? And so that's what growth is. Growth is being a new person, right? Remember, if you have this idea or this dream of who you want to be one day, or if you're constantly saying, well, you know, when this happens, I'll be able to do this. You know, when I win the lottery, I'll be able to do what I want. When I move out of this apartment or home to this new place, to this new town, I'll be able to do this. When I get married or have a loving relationship, I'll be able to do this. You know, once I get rid of what's going on with me physically, I'll be able to heal. So we're always putting that off until another day. And what happens is we have to grow, we have to change. So in other words, to be the person that you dream of being, that means you can't be the person who you are right now. You have to grow, you have to change. And that's a big thing for many people, to make those changes. So if you're not like a fire or air sign and you can just change on a dime, then if you're a slower moving, have to marinate in it like a water sign or the earth signs. I know sometimes it can be challenging for you to make a change because you're so rooted and grounded in your life here. So make sure you change in some way, whether it's a small idea in your mind, or whether it's actually some physical action, or actually do some bigger movements. So anything from small thoughts to great motions and evolutions that you can do, that's going to be growth. That's going to be change. So make sure you change, because remember, you want to be this wonderful person you've dreamed of until you come to the point where you realize right now, remember, now is the moment of power. So you are your most powerful, most loving self right at this very second, because this very second, you are God. Remember that. So you are who you want to be, who you've thought about being, will be that right now. And that's what spiritual growth is realizing who you are at this present moment. And that way, as you work on that, that means every single moment you're evolving, you're growing, you're accepting your challenges, and you're celebrating your divinity, and you're celebrating life, and you're appreciating it. So that's the dimensional aspects for spiritual growth. And then the last perspective, number 5. So just for today, I'll be kind to others. Again, just for today, it places us in a present moment. So now is the moment of power. So I will be kind to others. How wonderful to be kind to others. That in itself is loving. Okay. Now, I'd like to add here too, make sure you're kind to yourself. Make sure you love yourself. You're kind to yourself. You believe in yourself. You're self-empowered, you're self-loving, you respect yourself. Because remember, we can't do that unless we have all these qualities within us. You know, if you want to go out and help people, let's give an example. If your gas tank in your car is empty, are you going to be able to drive to help other people? No, because your gas tank is empty. So same thing for your personal self. if all these qualities of being kindness to others, if that's not within you, then you're empty on the inside. So we want to fill yourself up first. Have enough self-love to do that, not to the point of narcissism when your folks have become service to self, right? We want to be service to others. So allow that kindness to be within you, all 10 trillion or 30 trillion cells. Make sure your body, your mind, your spirit knows that the default is to be kind and loving to yourself so that you can begin to grow and exude this kindness out to wherever you go, almost like your kindness dandruff, right? Wherever you go, you're just shedding these little skin cells all over the place. Because remember, we get rid of lots of skin cells just about every hour. So make sure we allow that kindness to exude wherever you go, that aloha. And kindness is also, when we think about kindness, the kind of love it's an understanding love. So that means it's compassion. So we have compassion for people, places, and things. And we share that love, that compassion, that healing, that attention, intention, that focus. Okay? So being kind is very easy to do. It could be a hug, a kiss, opening a door, picking up a piece of trash because we're being kind to Mother Earth. Okay? We can send a note. We can give compliments, and we'll talk about that with our shack. Shack being the five perspectives that we want to try to live many times throughout the day. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. Okay? So be kind to others, right? Be loving, be compassionate, understand others on the level that they can be, and try to be in that space so that you know how you can be a healer, how you can be a loving person, and just by your very presence of being peaceful and kind and quiet and still on the inside and mind, body, and spirit, that is the energy that you're exuding wherever you go. So that's being kind to others. Wonderful dimensional aspects of the 5 ideals. So let's look at those in review then. So as we think about Reiki, we know Reiki just means universal energy. And remember Ki, Ki at the end. That's in Japanese and Korean philosophy, Chi in Chinese, Prana in yoga, Mana in Hawaiian philosophies, and just in our Western definitions, it would just be the life force, right? So our breath, our energy, the life force that continues for all of eternity. Okay? So that's what Reiki is, just coming to us through the Japanese perspective. So the 5 Reiki ideals then, remember, just for today, that's being in the now. Now is the moment of power. So these ideas, we're moving ideas in the mind to ideals. We're putting feet on that idea, and we're making it manifest on planet Earth through some of our actions. Right? And so just for today, I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Just for today, I will show appreciation. Just for today, I will work on my spiritual growth. And just for today, I'll be kind to others. So how wonderful that we're able to use the Reiki ideals, not just as Reiki practitioners for healing. Okay, we're actually able to use these ideals in our everyday life as a human, and also as a member of the solar system, a citizen of the galaxy, and as the oneness and wholeness of our universe, multiverse, and for all of eternity. These ideals can be applied to help us to evolve, to grow, to change, and to be the love in every moment. So thank you for being here for that. All right, so let's get ourselves ready for some meditation. Let me change the banner here. So remember, we want to live aloha in every moment. Let me find this music. Okay. So now just get nice and relaxed. Remember to be in the now. There's nothing else to do, nowhere else to be, but just relax. Just think about the Reiki 5, the ideals. So remember, just for today, I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Just for today, I will show appreciation. Just for today, I will work on my spiritual growth. And just for today, I will be kind to others. So allow this to flow into your psyche, your essence. Now in your stillness, just think about your chakras. Focus on that red root chakra, about the size of a volleyball or basketball, soccer ball. Beautiful red color. Now move up to the navel chakra, beautiful orange color. And then moving up to the solar plexus, a beautiful yellow color, like a golden sun. And then moving up to the heart level, beautiful green volleyball or basketball. And this chakra, the green color, maybe it'll probably be about twice the size of your other chakras. This is love. And now move up to your throat chakra, the light blue, sky blue. And now give attention to your third eye, your brow, your pineal chakra, or psychic center. This will be an indigo blue, deep blue, medium blue, royal blue. And then move your focus and attention up to the crown chakra, the top of the head. Beautiful purple or violet, and has lots of white mixed in with that, white streaks. And allow this beautiful rainbow color just to imagine this bubble around you, and allow these colors to begin to feel and spill out into your rainbow bubble around you. And then imagine a light tube going straight down from the crown chakra down to the root, connecting all these 7 chakras. And imagine that light tube, think of it as a fluorescent tube, like a fluorescent light. And now imagine that white light of the tube beginning to fill up with all the colors of the chakra. And now this tube can't possibly contain all that wonderful, loving, colored energy, so it begins to spread out and ooze out into your energy bubble until you find this beautiful aloha bubble surrounding your body. And now can sense the peace, the love, the aloha. We can make an understanding of the dimensional aspects of the 5 Reiki ideals. Releasing the anger, the worry, showing appreciation, working on your spiritual growth, and being kind and loving, compassionate. And we want to make sure these ideals are within us so that we can share these ideals with everyone, everything, and everywhere. So now let's move into a meditative place, wherever that may be. And focus on these ideals or anything else you'd like to focus on. Now find yourself being very relaxed. Notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. Begin to review this time, this little 5-minute respite, mind, body, and spirit, oneness and wholeness. Begin to review the Reiki ideals, allowing these ideals to be a time to expand and grow and evolve during this coming week. You may not want to be part of all of them. Maybe you just like one or two. Just one or two to be part of your life. Make changes, baby steps, right? So remember, we want to let go of anger. We want to be in the now. Let go of anger, let go of worry. We want to show appreciation. We want to work on spiritual growth. And we want to be kind, compassionate, and loving to others. And then let's do some healing work. Bring up my Merkaba. Remember, the Merkaba is a living energy field around us, and everyone has Merkaba. We just have to reactivate it. So find a way to do that. We have classes a couple of times a year. We have to do that, but other people are doing this also. And today we'll just do Reiki energy. Okay? So imagine Reiki energy coming out of the Merkaba. Imagine Reiki energy coming out of my hands. I am a Reiki master and teacher. Just allow this beautiful royal blue, indigo blue light coming out of my hands. Remember, you're calm, you're healed, you're loved, and you're well. You're calm, you're healed, loved, you're well. And now the energy just flash into your body, to every chakra, every cell, every strand of DNA, each and every atom, subatomic particle in your body. Allow this Reiki energy to flow above, below, within, without, and all around your essence. Allow it to mix with your own ideas of love, self-awareness, and empowerment. Be in a healed state. Be in a healthy state. This is your original form. To be healthy, to be happy. Planet Earth is a wonderful school. It's inundated us with layers of personal doubt, lack of empowerment. So switch that, change that, grow. Be the healed, strong, loving person. Just allow this energy to flow. I'll say the master symbol to give it that little extra jolt. It needs to break through some stubborn cells and ideas. It's daikomyo, daikomyo, daikomyo. Ichi ni san yongo rokumyo. Wonderful. And just imagine your beautiful aloha bubble is now surrounded by this beautiful blue Reiki bubble. Beautiful royal blue. It's Feel that energy being absorbed into you, and know it'll just be there as long as you like. Use it. Allow it to heal. Allow it to help you create, love yourself, empower yourself. This is loving energy. Now, if you will, just imagine you're going to encapsulate all that wonderful energy. Imagine gathering it all around. Just make it like a big ball. Those of you who are bread makers, you know how to put something into a big dough ball. Just grab it. Now just feel it. Feel it right here in your palms. You have palm chakras there, so feel that. Your hands a little bit closer. You almost, it'll feel like a pressing balloon. And now we want to put that right into our heart. So let's bring it down to the heart level. Just breathe it, inhale it right to the heart. And that way it will be stored in your heart for the remainder of the week. And you can use it for healing anytime. Just simply, it's like turning on a light switch. So as you think about your heart and you think about this blue Reiki light inside of you, just tell that light to go wherever you want it to go. You have that power to do it. You now have the Reiki inside of you. You've explored the Reiki ideals. So allow this to heal you. And as we say a wonderful prayer to help seal all this in, we say a special thank you to our Mother, Father, God, the creation of this reality, and providing all the wonderful work, the challenges, and celebrations that help us to be unique expressions of this love and light. We thank you for the aloha that flows through all things, people, places. We thank you for the aloha that is within us. The aloha consciousness, as we live this consciousness in mind, body, and spirit, thought, word, and deed, sharing it with everyone, everything, everywhere, every time, place, and space, and with every endeavor at home, work, and play, as we go about our lives serving others with this beautiful aloha, and being able to do this full of full tank of aloha within us, allowing this aloha to heal us, to make us strong, to feel the empowerment, the confidence, the love, the success. Remember the 7 Huna principles of be aware, be free, be focused, be here, be loved, be strong, be effective. I pray and I call upon the spirit that flows through all things, the aloha, the love that flows through all things, to empower you for this week in your healing and living as a 3D human and the many, many dimensional perspectives where you exist. To be the love in every moment. So see, hear, and feel the love in every moment. Sense, feel, and know the love in every moment, so that you can be the love in every moment. Remember, aloha and aloha. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay. All right, let's get back to another slide I want to show you. So that is our shack. I mentioned this earlier. Shack, if you will. Let this be part of your daily life also. So just imagine how many people it would take if we could do this every single day, and to think of the millions of acts of aloha that would be accomplished over a period of a year. So SHAC, it stands for smiles, hugs, acts of kindness, compliments, and kisses. So make sure we try to do these SHAC every single day. And you may have one particular aspect that you love the most. So do that every day in every way with everyone, everything, everywhere. So smiling and hugging, doing acts of kindness, complimenting people, right? And also kissing. Right? So make sure we allow that to happen in our life. Good. All right, so let's do a aloha clap, pow, and that'll end it all. So remember on 3, 1, 2, 3, pow. Good. Thank you so much for being with us here today. EarthStar Sundays at 11:11. Please review all the videotapes from this month. to go back and preview those again or review those again, and also allow these Reiki ideals to be part of your life this week. Okay? Well, we love you. Be the love in every moment, because that's what we're here to do, to be about love. Jeanne and I both love you. So take care. Have a wonderful week. And we will, as the Hawaiians say, a hui ho. So until we meet again, right? Much aloha. Blessings.